Community Crunch 400 has dropped, and it should matter, does it? We're going to jump in and take a look at it right now. Well, Community Crunch 400 has dropped, and I don't know about you, but so often we come in here wanting to get some news, wanting to get some information, wanting to find out what's going on in the world of Ark. And then we open it up, and we end up feeling, well, something like this.
Yes, it's all true. I just don't know what's wrong with me.
Maybe that's you. I don't know. Maybe that's me. And maybe we're getting it wrong. I'll discuss that here in a little bit. But Crunch 400 did come out last night, and I want to talk about it a little bit. Let's go through it, and we'll check it out. So here it is. Community Crunch 400, cross-platform mod spotlights, boosted rates, and more. Does that sound familiar? Maybe it should. $3.99. Cross-platform mods, boosted rates, and more. So as you can see, we've not gotten a lot of difference from week to week. It's the same title. They just switch it which one they mention first. But yeah, this is what's in here. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what we see, what it should be, what it ought to be, and what should matter, and the information that we can learn even when information's not being shared. We're going to jump into that here right now. So you look at the Community Crunch and the vast and untamed wilderness of Ark, which I guess is probably communication and UE5. I don't know. Anyway, so I think it's the only thing. Well, we'll get into that in a second. The mod spotlight leads off this one. Mod spotlight. I don't mind the mod spotlight. I think the mod spotlight is actually a really cool thing that they're doing with ASA. I think if you're wanting the community to be more involved and get more excited about the product, then perhaps highlighting what they're doing to make the game better in their own way, whether it be a skin or whether it be a new variation of an animal or a new map or whatever it might be, I think is pretty amazing. And they do have a mod spotlight here, and I want to take a look at that mod spotlight with you all right now. So this cross-platform mod spotlight, this is something that's everything. The magical unicorn, kind of cool looking. Now the only difference is the rainbow-looking, horn, and then you have the outdoor decor. The best part about the outdoor decor, besides that cool statue, is the windows. Stained glass windows on this look amazing. See? Look at that. That's stinking cool. That's one of the best things I've used. Tribal comping, which is basically like, I think it does a direwolf type thing there. And
once your fall is complete.
Again, really cool to see. Concrete building. Yeah, most people think this belongs with Rust or one of those types of games, Fallout 76, one of those type of games. But I don't mind it here because we've got Adobe, we've got all this other stuff. The Parker rework. So if I took the Parker and gave it a rework. Way of looking at the Parker, you got it. And the map. Miranda, Mirandale. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry if any art nods. If I'm pronouncing it wrong. That dragon statue is awesome. The castle looks great. I think this map has a lot of possibilities for it. But we see the mod spotlight. With a cross-platform mod spotlight in the crunch. I think it's a great idea. And I have no problem with the community spotlight on mods. I don't. I think it's great. I think it keeps people involved in the game when there's a disparity of content and nothing much is coming out from the developers themselves or anything new to the game itself for the community to come together and add to the newness of the game. Makes a lot of sense. I think it's a great thing to spotlight. And they do. And everything else is normal. There's the bonus rates. Well, of course, that's a part of the title for the second week in a row. And the bonus rates are no different. 2 times 4.5, 5. I mean, we see that every single time. There's no difference there. No one's shocked by this. The surprise would be if it wasn't included in the crunch somewhere. They go into the community corner, a great part of ARC. You know, they give special shout out to the fan art, the photo mode picture of the Allosaurus by Eximare. And honestly, it is a really, really amazing picture. I love that picture of the Allosaurus. And I think it was great that they used it for the cover. And I think it's great that they're going to start giving cover art to some of the photo mode stuff. I think that's great as well. You got the videos. You got On Fire 944 doing the video of the fastest travel methods. You have Ross Clark's Gigantoraptor guide and everything that you need to know about that video. Good video. Check both those videos out. You have the fan art. Everybody in here has done some art, whether it be, you know, creating a drawing of an explorer note, whether it be, you know, drawing something like color or just on paper, which that is a really cool picture of an RG. No matter what it may be, you know, the 3D render here, I like it. It's really cool. I can't do anything like this, so this stuff amazes me. I love seeing it. You look down here and you see some of the photo mode stuff that people have built. Look at this treehouse. Look at the Bronto. I mean, these pictures are awesome. Coming from, I love that Maywing saddle. This is what the crunch is supposed to be. All these things here that we see, this is what the crunch is supposed to be. Okay? It is supposed to be about the community. I think this is where we've messed up, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a second. But I also want to talk about what we have learned. What do you not see here? Did you expect to see anything from the center? I didn't expect to see anything from the center once we found out that it was, you know, third party and stuff. And even Dolly coming out and saying, no, the center's not even going to be ready by the time we release Scorched. So I didn't expect to see anything about the center at all. Not at all. I did expect to see something about Scorched Earth being 23 days as of the time of recording. 23 days until release. I was expecting it. I was excited. I kind of expected it last week, and I was hopeful that they would follow Vino's kind of idea for a roadmap. He gave him a roadmap on how to treat the crunch between now and the release of Scorched Earth to keep us all excited, to keep everybody's appetites wet, to get them pumped up for and hyped up for what was going to be coming out on April the 1st, so that the content's ready to roll and people are excited about jumping back into ASA. And we've got none of that. 2 weeks in a row where boosted rates and cross-platform mods are the headliners. And that's fine and dandy for what this is supposed to be. But we've been wanting to see news. In the absence of news is pessimism. I'm trying to stay optimistic. I want to stay optimistic. When they said the center's not going to be ready, the center's not going to be ready, and so because it's not going to be ready to the standard that we want, we're not going to put it out that way. I actually saw optimism there. A lot of people got mad. A lot of people worried about the dates. Me, I saw optimism. Because I wanted to think that they really do want to put their best foot forward when this map comes out, so that the game does not get another black eye. We all feel like they rushed ASA out for whatever reason you want to claim, and we won't even go and rehash all of that stuff. And because they rushed it out, and because really it wasn't ready, and because it was so glitchy and had so many problems early on, we kind of got a little bit irked with them. So I was hopeful because they said, well, we're not ready for that. We're going to wait until it's ready to come out. But then they refocused this on Scorched coming out April the 1st. 23 days from now. And we've seen nothing. We've seen nothing. They create a mod because it's not hardwired into the game yet. They create a mod so that everybody can get the Gigantoraptor out first. I still don't know if when they hardwire the Gigantoraptor in, the people that have them with the mods are going to be okay or not. I like to think it's not going to be a problem, but I don't know how all that works. I really don't. So they're trying, but I want to be optimistic about it. But I look back at September and August of last year when we were getting excited about what we figured was an October release at some point due to snail games and etc. financial deals. An October release for ASA. And if you remember, June, July, August, September, we got basically nothing. We got assets. This is what the old sleeping bag looks like. This is what the new sleeping bag looks like. This is what the old wooden building looks like. This is what the new wooden. This is what the old stone. This is the new stone. This is the old smithy. This is the new smithy. And they showed us all that stuff. And it wasn't bad. It was nice to see. But it felt like it was never followed up. The pictures were great, but why not show the difference side by side in a frame of actual gameplay? Man, you know how impactful that would have been? Getting everybody fired up for the differences between the two. The pictures would have been nice, but if you scroll down after the pictures and you actually see a 20 or 30-second video showcasing the differences between the two and doing the exact same things in the video, that would have been great. We saw none of that. There was none of that effort was put in. That's all we got was just the asset pictures. That's it. And everybody got worried, and the game we got was glitchy. The game we got was not ready. The game we got was unfinished. Look where we're at now. What information have we gotten? There's been nothing from Scorched. We have seen nothing. We've not seen renders of what the map will look like. The changes in ASA, the island. Can you imagine a 20, 30-second touring video of just South Beach 1? Everybody likes to spawn on South 1. For most of us, it was the first place we ever spawned on. And it was the beach, and there was the tree trunk there that was on the ground, and every once in a while you'd have a dodo walking by. There were some bushes. It was all the same. Rocks laying around. Easy pickup, easy gain to start off. No big deal. But then you get on ASA, and in that spot is this big, giant pillar rock that's, I don't know how many meters high, and it's just something that just stands right there, blocking where you would normally think to build your first little base. Big change. Nobody knew that was coming. It would have been really cool just to see something like that. We haven't seen that with Scorched at all. What's going to change? What different terrains are going to look like? Doesn't have to give us all of them. Just give us a couple of them. We haven't seen what the wyverns are going to look like, or the thorny dragons, or the jerboas, or the rock golems, or anything else that we know that is basically Scorch-specific animals that we eventually can get throughout the rest of the game later on. But we basically have not seen anything, really, of what they're going to look like in UE5. People have taken their best guess in some of the mods that are out there. I know there's a Draconic mod and some others that bring wyverns in and whatnot, but basically they look like UE, like the UE4, the last ASE versions, just brought into ASA. We've not seen anything from Wildcard on this, and when week after week goes by and you don't see anything, you get pessimistic. What I can tell you is we can learn a lot from what's not said without getting any information, not even in the same way we got from the island. That should tell you April 1st, probably not happening. I'm just guessing. I want to be optimistic, but my guess says we're looking at a mid to late April release. Is that going to make it now into the summer before we see something else? Will the center even drop before June? I don't know anymore. Did they farm every single non-canon map out? That would actually make some sense if they're focusing on the story maps, trying to make them ready in UE5, and they farmed out everything like, the center and Valguero and Crystal Isles and Ragnarok and all that out to other people. Makes sense. Because there's no way they're keeping their time frame with how they're doing things now. I'm worried about that because we've not heard anything. We've not seen anything. They've avoided saying anything. And, I used to have a friend that when he was ready to shut down something he was doing in a hobby, he just went radio silent. It scares me when parts of this that are supposed to be given to the public and letting us know what's coming, suddenly now for 2 weeks in a row has been basically silent. Really, it's been longer than that. Besides the announcement of delaying the center and moving the Gigantoraptor into a mod that you can get on the island, for the last month there's really been nothing about Scorched Earth and hardly anything about the center except to delay it. Lack of news is still news because it's not there, so we have to assume it's not going to be on time. It does scare me a little bit. I think the community really will not put up with an extremely late map. I think we're forgiving of that because Wildcard hardly ever meets their deadline, so we're used to that part. I think we'd be forgiving if it shows up on April 15th instead of the 1st. I think we'd be forgiving of that, as long as it's very, very strong, very playable, and ready to go on day one. Ready to just roll right out and seamlessly transition into and just be able to enjoy a crash-free, wonderful ARC experience. I think if we can get something that's almost 95% complete, with very few little things that need to be tweaked to it, I think a 2-week delay, I think we'd even forgive that. But I don't know. One of the things that I think we need to also focus on is the fact that the crunch should matter, but it should matter for reasons that I think we've twisted it. I think we have become too dependent on this for our news source. And yeah, I guess Wildcard has used it as such. We've always gotten news on maps and new animals and dossiers and creature votes and all that cool stuff from the crunch. We have. We've gotten our news from that. But at its core, the community crunch is supposed to be about the community. I really like, I really do like Willie's. I really like Hillbilly Willie's suggestion on Twitter. If you haven't seen it, you need to follow Hillbilly Willie on Twitter. He had a great idea. He said, this should just be about the community. And they should do a dev blog separate. They should have a separate area where they actually release what's happening with the game. And it doesn't have to be frequently. And then they can just stop giving dates and times and things like that that we've got to worry about or understand or to know. They need to stop doing that. And I really believe that that's the way we should go. I think the community crunch needs to be centered around the community. Honestly, these last two crunches, if you're going into it saying, man, this is the community newsletter. What all is the community up to? And what have they seen as important for the community to be seen, to be recognized as being good or being outstanding from a picture or a photo or videos? I think if we keep it to that, then maybe our expectations for the crunch won't be up here all the time. I don't know. Maybe we've just gotten ourselves built into that. But I think if they were to do that, maybe it would get us more realistic and perhaps we could bring the optimism back. But with the way things are, it seems like the ball's being dropped constantly. And I can tell you right now, just from this crunch was dropped on International Women's Day. And yet, even on International Women's Day, the only thing, all the way through this, you can look all the way through, the only thing you're going to find in this entire crunch that mentions anything about the women of ARC. Here it is. Let's also take a moment to recognize the remarkable courage and contributions of women survivors who enrich our world, both within the game and beyond. In the spirit of International Women's Day, we celebrate unity and strength that comes from diversity and mutual support across all genders in our community. That's it. That's it. And there are female creators out there that are kicking rear end, that are amazing. You could just go, Ms. Vadams actually put a list together. Took her 10 minutes, she said, or something like that. Didn't take her very long. A whole list of several creators, female creators. Why couldn't that have been the focus of this crunch? I mean, sorry. I'm not saying that On Fire 944 and Ross didn't deserve other videos, but why not put 5 or 6 video examples from high-profile women creators. Put a video from Kaya on Fire. Put a video from Krabbytron. Put a video from Fire Pumpkin. Put a video from Kitty Cat Lapur. Put a video from. I mean, there's a whole. Tila. All of them are out there. They're doing videos and they're doing so well. And I'm not saying it's wrong necessarily. I'm just saying that if you're going to mention that, you could do a lot better within your crunch of celebrating that instead of just giving 2 sentences at the beginning. That's just me. And to me, it shows just, that little bit of mismanagement that keeps us constantly in the loop. I can tell you this. If without all this news and without all this stuff, we end up getting a bad version of Scorched Earth when it does come out, late or not, doesn't matter. If it's a terrible version of Scorched, and we continually have this kind of crunch, where for some reason we get ourselves worked up, it's going to be news, and it's really just going to be what it's meant to be, community celebration, then we're setting ourselves up for, probably giving Ark the heave-ho. Or, as others might say.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Punchy, the tribe has spoken. Please pack up your knives and go. Your work of art didn't work for us.
Your time's up.
I have to ask you to leave the mansion. You must leave the chateau. Your tour ends here. You've been chopped.
Okay, yeah, I know.
You've been evicted from the Big Brother house. Your dessert just didn't measure up. Sashay away. Give me a jacket and leave Hell's Kitchen. I'm sorry, you did not get a rose. You have been eliminated from the race. You are no longer in the running to be America's Next Top Model. You're fired. Auf Wiedersehen.
I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. I really do. Anyway, what do you think? Leave your comments underneath the video. Let me know what you think. Is Scorch going to come out on time? Is it going to be late? How late do you think it'll be? Do you think it's going to be a buggy mess the same way the island was? Or do you think that they've learned their lesson on that part and they are going to make sure that it is something worthwhile for us to celebrate? What are your thoughts on the center? What are your thoughts on everything else that's been going on? And would you support just having the community crunch just be about the community and letting them go somewhere else to give us the news that we crave for this game that we love? I hope to read a lot of comments. Do me a favor, hit that like button and leave a comment. It'll help the algorithm find this video and my channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm on the road to 1,000 and hopefully going to get there by the end of this calendar year. And I'd like for you to come along for the ride. So hit that notification bell if you haven't yet, as well with that subscription button. Until the next time, this is Hopp, hoping for the best as we go into this next week of Ark and all the other games we like to play. Take care, everybody.